Hi, everyone. Great to be with you once again. It's Wade for the Kingdom Report, bringing you the latest Disney news from coast to coast and around the world as the political firestorm surrounding the Walt Disney Company continues to rage on. Washington Times reporting the following, saying that a busload of conservative moms will protest Saturday at Walt Disney World in Orlando over the company's public stance against Florida's parental rights and education law. Moms for America, an Ohio-based group that has publicly supported the law, said in a press release that, quote, several Disney employees who do not support Disney's radical agenda, close quote, will join the 2-hour protest at the front entrance of Disney Springs. Quote, we are excited to bring together freedom-loving Floridians and Americans from across the country to show Disney that it should return to its focus of embracing and promoting family values, liberty, and freedom, Rebecca Ricks, president of the Florida Alliance of Moms for America, said in a statement. The mothers are protesting Disney CEO Bob Chapek's recent public condemnation of the legislation, which critics have dubbed the Don't Say Gay Act. The law, HB 1557, forbids kindergarten through third grade elementary school teachers from teaching lessons on sexuality and gender identity. Moms for America said that its Freedom Truck, which recently completed a trip with a truckers' protest in Washington, D.C., will carry protesters to the rally. Once again, our thanks to the Washington Times for that story. Moving along now, Newsweek reports the following, saying that Ron DeSantis' battle with Disney over the company's opposition to the parental rights and education bill shows the Florida governor as thin-skinned, at least according to a former GOP congressman. David Jolly, who represented Florida's 13th congressional district between 2014 and 2017, believes that DeSantis may have gone too far in going after Disney in the latest outbreak of the culture wars. Jolly, who left the Republican Party in 2018 and is a vocal critic of top DeSantis ally Donald Trump, told the Washington Post the governor was taking a risk by feuding with a company that is a major source of pride and income in the Sunshine State. Quote, it's a foolish move politically, but he'll use it as currency in the Republican Party politics of today to say it's war on woke, Jolly said, adding, Disney will be fine, but what this does is show Americans that Ron DeSantis is a governor with a glass jaw who cannot tolerate criticism. That's what this is about, nothing more than that, close quote. DeSantis has frequently criticized Disney after it came out against the HB 1557 bill, legislation that the governor signed into law on March 28th that aims to ban discussion of sexual orientation and gender identity in certain grades at Florida schools. In a statement, the Walt Disney Company said that the bill, quote, should never have been passed and should never have been signed into law, close quote, and announced it will seek its repeal. DeSantis, a political firebrand, has rejected all criticism of the bill and accused Disney of having crossed the line by voicing their opposition to state legislation. One of the other attacks on the business was accusing it of double standards for running a cruise line which docks in Dominica, where homosexual intercourse is illegal, while objecting to the bill. Quote, you've got to wonder, why is the hill to die on to have transgenderism injected into kindergarten classrooms or woke gender ideology injected into second grade classrooms, DeSantis said. Meanwhile, if we've done a bill that prohibited talking about the abuse of Uyghurs in China, Disney would have supported that legislation. They won't say a word about that, close quote. Disney was criticized in 2020 for filming parts of its Mulan movie in Xinjiang, a Chinese region where many Uyghur Muslims have been interned in re-education camps, according to human rights groups. The governor has also debated whether to repeal Disney's special benefits protected under the Reedy Creek Improvement District, which essentially allows Disney to run as its own self-governing authority in Florida. State Representative Spencer Roach, who also wants to repeal the law that allows the company to self-govern, said that Disney, the largest on-site employer in Florida with nearly 80,000 workers, has been seen as politically untouchable until DeSantis began his battle. Quote, they've been such a political juggernaut that the repeal of Reedy Creek was never seen as remotely possible, Roach said, adding, there's an opportunity now where Disney has been politically weakened, and there's an opportunity to correct what I would label as a historic aberration in the free market, close quote. Once again, thank you to Newsweek for that story. Continuing now, Politico reports the following, saying that weeks before the Walt Disney Company took a stand against Florida's contentious parental rights and education law, the theme park operator and entertainment conglomerate donated $190,000 to support Florida Republicans. The company gave $125,000 to the Republican Party of Florida and $65,000 to a committee that helps elect GOP state senators, led by incoming State Senate President Kathleen Passidomo. All the donations, which were disclosed in new campaign filings Monday, arrived as the state legislative session was getting underway in January. Disney also donated $25,000 to a leadership fund led by Senate Democrat leader Lauren Book on the day before the start of the session. Disney last month announced it would pause making campaign donations in Florida amid a backlash over its jumbled response to the legislation, which bans instruction of gender identity and sexual orientation in kindergarten through the third grade, or in a manner that is not age-appropriate in other grades. The company also said it hoped that the law, which opponents including President Joe Biden maintained could further marginalize some students and lead to bullying and even suicide, was repealed or struck down by the courts. A federal lawsuit has already been filed by a group of LGBTQ advocates. A handful of GOP legislators have announced they would return checks they received to their re-election campaign accounts. Records show 3 legislators, including Representative Joe Harding, the sponsor of the bill at the center of the controversy, returned more than $8,000 to Disney companies. A Disney representative and the executive director of the Republican Party of Florida did not respond to requests for comment. The donations from Disney were part of nearly $1.8 million raised during the first 3 months of the year by the Republican Party of Florida. The Florida Democratic Party raised $2.57 million during the same period. By contrast, DeSantis has raised at least $25 million since January. His main re-election account has still not posted its report for March. Both parties usually raise a large amount of money in the run-up to the annual session that began January 11th. Legislators are not allowed to solicit donations during that 2-month period. The record shows Disney gave a $100,000 check to the Republican Party of Florida on January 11th and $25,000 more on January 26th. That second check came 6 days after the Parental Rights and Education bill had cleared its first legislative stop in the Florida House. Once again, our thanks to Politico for those words. And finally, NBC News reports that Charlie Cora, a member of the Disney family, came out publicly as transgender and condemned anti-LGBTQ bills in a recent interview. Cora, who uses he and they pronouns, announced that their family would match up to $250,000 in donations to the Human Rights Campaign, the nation's largest LGBTQ advocacy group, during the organization's annual gala in Los Angeles last month. Roy P. Disney, Cora's stepfather and the grandson of Roy O. Disney, a co-founder of the Walt Disney Company, upped that amount to $500,000 last week. Quote, "Equality matters deeply to us," Disney said in a statement, "especially because our child, Charlie, is transgender and a proud member of the LGBTQ+ community," close quote. Disney also said the family was heartbroken when Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signed the Parental Rights in Education Act. Cora, a high school biology and environmental science teacher, told the LA Times that the HRC gala was sort of a public coming out for them, since they had come out privately as trans 4 years ago. Cora, who has been widely referred to as Charlie Disney in news reports, said that even though they have a lot of support and privilege, their journey has been difficult. Quote, "I had very few openly gay role models, and I certainly didn't have any trans or non-binary role models. I didn't see myself reflected in anyone, and that made me feel like there was something wrong with me," close quote. Cora, who told the Times that they don't have much experience with public speaking or advocacy, lamented that they don't do very much to help, saying, quote, "I don't call senators or take action. I felt like I could be doing more," close quote. They condemned anti-LGBTQ bills and noted that LGBTQ kids already deal with higher rates of depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, and bullying. Quote, "Then to put something like this law on top of that, they can't learn about their community and their history at school or play sports or use the bathroom they want to use," they told the LA Times. The Walt Disney Company came under fire after the Orlando Sentinel reported in February that the company had donated to every sponsor and co-sponsor of the Parental Rights and Education bill. Bob Chapek, Disney's CEO, said in a staff email last month that he and the company's leadership unequivocally stand with LGBTQ employees, but he didn't condemn the bill, arguing that corporate statements, quote, do very little to change outcomes or minds. Roy P. Disney said his family wanted to make a donation in part because the Human Rights Campaign refused to accept a $5 million donation announced by Chapek last month. Joni Madison, the group's interim president, said the HRC wants to see Disney, quote, build on their public commitment and work with LGBTQ+ advocates to ensure that dangerous proposals like Florida's Don't Say Gay or Trans bill don't become dangerous laws, and if they do, to work to get them off the books, close quote. Sherry Disney, Charlie's mother, said the matching donation was meant to remind people that LGBTQ children need support, saying, quote, I have a trans kid, and I love my kid no matter what, close quote. Once again, thanks to NBC News for that story. Thanks so much for being a part of today's Disney News Update. For far less political news, reviews, and theme park strategies, go ahead and check out the other content we have here on the channel. And if we've earned it, a thumbs up means an awful lot. Make sure you are subscribed to the platform with the notification bell turned on so you never miss a future update whenever it drops. For the Kingdom Report, I'm Wade Heath. We'll see you next time for another installment of the Disney News Update.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.